everybody. We are now going to hear Nicolas Hernandez, a computer scientist who is a CEO at Aleph Networks. And he's going to present a tool called Aleph Search Clear. It is a tool to collect, to analyze, and to display data, very large volumes of data. And it is expected to become a search engine, but a very specific search engine. A search engine that isn't based on writing, nor on code, but on graphs, okay? Graphs, imaginaries, and not imaginaries of codes and of writing. For example, Google is a search engine, but it's a search engine that belongs to an anthropocentric imaginary, the anthropocentric imaginary of code and of writing. On Google, you write something in a search bar, and almost immediately you get a list of written results. Okay. Here in Google, you write, and then you have access to knowledge. You give an instruction, and then the computer executes. Everything in a Google interface, Google screen, makes us vulnerable to fantastic tales of the power of computing. But the tool Nicolas is now going to present does not refer to anthropocentric imaginaries of code and of writing. Rather, it carries a non-anthropocentric imaginary, a technological imaginary, the one of graphs. I say that graphs imaginaries aren't anthropocentric. Why? Because the web is organized into nodes and links. The web is organized in a graph, and that graphs aren't shown in Google. So, Nicolas, I let you now present Aleph Search Clear.
Hello, everybody. So first of all, I'm gonna show you a search engine, but just about a specific question for business intelligence use case, which is who are French actors of cyber innovation. So the only thing I know about this context is a French cluster of innovation for the Ministry of Defense. So let me share the screen and we're gonna play with it. And the only website I know about this is this one, which is generate.fr. And I take this website, I put in Aleph Search Clear. And here we've got the site represented through a dot or a node in graph theory, and at this stage you've got a graph of what? Of your first website, and the tool have collected all the data of this site and extracted all the sites referenced by the first one. So in this graph I got all the actors in this cluster of innovation for Ministry of Defense. What I want to do is to find in all of these actors which ones are working on cybersecurity. So at this step, I've got all website of interest for my request. I just have to select which one could be interested for me select them, change the color because it's more funky. And I can ask to the tool to collect all this data, all the data I have selected as potentially interesting for my request. And I ask the tool to collect all the data. At this stage, it's gonna to be a nice graph, but maybe a little more complicated for human. You're gonna see. Just wait because it needs time.
It's not Google.
It's not Google. The tool have to work for you. And you've got this nice graph. At this step, you've got too much graph, so you can use some IA to simplify the graph and identify other potential websites interesting for you or not. But anyway, you can already ask to all these sites which ones are using the cyber keyword, and you've got Aleph Networks, Rarimi, Agaranov, Nemrod, Generate, which is the first, and the last one is Server here, and Guagam. So we've got an answer to the first question, which are some interesting companies working on cyber and innovation in France. If I ask this question to Google, if I ask in French, who are the French innovative cyber actors in France, I don't have the right answer to the question.
Okay, so thank you very much, Nicolas, for this nice presentation. Maybe to sum up a little bit, with Aleph Search Clear, you have a search engine, but it's a search engine based on an imaginary, which is the one of graphs and not of writing, as you have seen. It's a technological imaginary because the web is organized in a graph. Okay, you have a first domain, you have a first site of interest, and then the crawlers are going to collect all the websites that are linked to the first website. Okay, so you have this nice graph of one website and all the other websites that are linked to the first website. So it's here in Search Clear, it's the user that puts the first website of interest, and the user with a computational force is going to build a zone of interest, a field of interest, and then he's going to ask with a word, a keyword, he's going to search, but in the field of interest he has built, or yes, he has built with the crawlers. Okay, so you are going to search, to request a field of interest you have built. It's not the field of interest built by Google, by the algorithm of Google, and about which you have absolutely no idea.